If you did a background check on the story about Buddha, Buddha was actually supposed to be a holy man. And if you did a background check on it, he was supposed to be a holy man. He surrendered the king's seat position. He surrendered his king's man seat. He surrendered it. And he gave it up, and he chased after spiritual enlightenment by poverty. Anyway, that's what it says in Buddha's book of the Dalai Lama and also in the book of Buddha, based over the kingman seat of Buddha. Okay, but now this is a Chinese book. Please remember what it said. Now, let's go back over it again. Let's say that Buddha's actually a bit of bullshit. Okay, let's go back over it again. Let's start the page from the top. From Buddha's story is this what was actually said in the storybook of Buddha. Now let's go back over to World War I, World War II, World War III, Bali bombing 2001, 9/11 2001, and the wars with Putin. Let's go back over it from the top. Let's say we just don't believe Buddha. Let's say we don't believe what was going on with Buddha. Let's say we understand something's going on, and if we don't understand the full picture, let's get the whole picture answered. What happened in World War One? Okay, this is how World War One starts, but it's actually called World War Zero. Now it's called World War Zero. World War Zero, this is how it starts. The Chinese king has a massive ingression fight inside his kingdom. The Mongols are fighting over one side of the fence. It's an internal fight inside his own camp. He's got the fence up. He's actually saying there's actually a peace treaty between the fence rights. But the thing is, he's got a massive war on one side of the fence, a massive war behind his fence, and he's saying he wants to dumb down his people. He wants to dumb down every person inside his camp. They love the beer, they love it, so they put LSD inside the beer. And so how do they come to put LSD inside the beer? Let me explain. The king actually said very clearly in Testament, he said, I want to actually figure out a way to dumb down my people so they will not ingress and fight any further beyond this point of reference, and they'll stop their ingression fighting. And so he says, saying, please figure out a particular poison to dumb down my people so they'll not be so much of a nuisance. And so he came up with a good quality chemical called LSD. And so he put that inside the alcoholic beverage that they love the most. And so they actually became intoxicated with LSD poisoning. And that explains alcohol consumption being put with LSD. After that, he was actually really angry and upset about them vomiting. And he says, so now they become an unclean smell inside the kingdom, and the kingdom's full of vomit, and I don't like the smell of this vomit. I want them to forget what they've actually just learned about what they have learned about what they have done. I want to dumb them down. Because they become violent and aggressive people, and they don't remember what just happened, but I want to dumb them down. So the doctor and scientists actually dreamt up a medication to dumb down the people. And that was actually the birth of the drugs called statin medication to dumb down the people. Anyway, because the doctors actually dreamt up the drug called statin medication, they actually poisoned a portion of the food with statin medication. The king, the Chinese king, Buddha, was really concerned about this point of reference in Testament. He was really concerned in Testament. And because he was really concerned in Testament, he says, I want a cure against this horrendous illness because these people have become dumbed down, they're worse than young infantile children, and they are actually not acting like adult people anymore. Please explain, could you please make me a cure on this point of reference? So Buddha took the medicine that the doctors made up, and that was statin medication, the medication to dumb down the people.
Side effect of statin use. Another side effect of statin use is memory issues. This is an uncommon side effect, and there can be some reduced memory or memory loss with statin use. So there can be some issues with cognition with statins. However, this appears to reverse when statins are.
Anyway, further ahead as it is, after that point of reference, the doctors took charge of China. And as they took charge of China on that day as it is, as the Chinese doctor has finally now become the king, they replaced the royal family. America came over to China, and they came over to China as friends and allies. The Chinese troops actually put the American people under arrest and put them on interrogation beds to learn how to fly the plane, and then they gave them a swift execution order to go to boot. The next fun event, the American president came to China to try making a peace treaty with the people. After that event, China actually put a diplomatic mission on to go back to America so they can make a peace treaty with America. After they made the peace treaty with America, they loosed a virus in the legal system. They thought it was a virus, but it was actually statin medication. And they tricked the American president to take the statin medication. And they tricked them with their new delicacies of their new foods. After that event, the American president and the American people had become dumbed down. They had no idea what just happened. Anyway, beyond that event, America was conquered. As America was conquered, they conquered America in one day.
Another side effect of statin use. Another side effect of statin use is memory issues. This is an uncommon side effect, and there can be some...
Anyway, further reports was actually on the page over here. That explains how America was actually conquered. Anyway, further beyond that point of reference, as you said, saying, my God, is this actually what's happened? Anyway, this led to World War I, World War II, World War III, Bali bombing in 2001, 9/11 2001, and wars with Putin. Now you know what's going on. Now, let me explain what's going on with World War I. In World War I, the Chinese people that actually were immigrants that actually moved to America, and they replaced the state federal governments, loosed an attack back on their own people. And they loosed the attack and actually tricked everyone. And this is actually what led to World War I. John F. Kennedy woke up to this fact as it is. He woke up. And as he woke up from childhood to adult age, he tried to explain this point of reference to his people, and tried to explain it. This is why John F. Kennedy was assassinated. This explains everything in full detail. I'll leave the print up there one more time for you to see. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.
Side effect of statin use. Another side effect of statin use is memory issues. This is an uncommon side effect, and there can be some reduced memory or memory loss with statin use. So there can be some issues with cognition with statins. However, this appears to...
This is Mark Anonymous Security reporting.